Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 18 for April 8th, 2020. I am Nemesis and I am joined remotely again by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Yeah, remotely again because turns out that coronavirus thing actually is lasting a long time like most people predicted.
Yep.
What a shock.
What a shocker.
What a shocking. Yes, of course we got more anime to talk about as we are wont to do.
Animus. Yeah. All of the animus.
Something I forgot to mention last time, which I'm kicking myself for, which is the whole Sailor Moon Ice show. There's a Sailor Moon Ice show.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, Sailor Moon on Ice, basically. It's a thing. It's coming. They even got, because what happened was, I think an Olympic figure skater did a Sailor Moon routine once, and they got her to play Sailor Moon in this ice show.
Neat.
So that's a thing that's happening. I don't know what it's like. I don't know anything about it other than it exists.
It exists. It is a thing that exists and will happen.
Also, a bunch of spring anime starting to be announced right now because that's about to premiere within like a couple weeks from now, actually.
Yeah.
As he's supposed to. And I also know a lot of it, if you're waiting for the English dub, you're going to be waiting a lot longer than you usually are. Because everyone's delaying or taking longer because coronavirus.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Fun times indeed.
But we're not here to talk about those things in the anime world. We actually do have a specific anime to talk about once again. And this one is, of course, Princess Principal, which I mentioned last time because that's what we do.
Yes.
Yeah. Just I guess quick thing. I'm trying to think. Okay. It's
an anime.
Yes. Well, yeah. But it is a spy thriller set in an alternate universe steampunk England in the 1910s.
Yep.
If no part of that catches your interest, you're dead inside.
You are dead inside.
Oh, by the way, probably also gay spies, I should mention.
Oh, yes. Like, at least two, possibly more, but at least two, very much so.
Very much so. So, before we get into the more heavy stuff, overall, what did you think? I'm curious.
It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I love this one a lot. I actually bought the collector's edition Blu-ray from Sentai Filmworks. The fancy one with like a bunch of the extra books and the coasters. You remember I showed you those coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Very fancy and everything. Yeah, I really, really adore this one. It came out in summer of 2017. So it's
not too old.
It's not too old. And the reason we're doing it now is because they're about to release the first of 6 movies this month. At least they're supposed to release it. It's scheduled for April 10th.
Right. That's actually
2 days from now.
That's kind of interesting because one of the things I was going to mention that I guess now is a good time to mention because he said there's movies.
Mm-hmm.
I was when I got to I think episode probably like 10, 11, I started getting worried because there's only a couple episodes left. There's a lot more that needs to be said. Please tell me that there's going to be more.
Oh yeah, there's more. 6 movies more.
Yes, I'm thrilled about that.
There was also a game which is already over. As kind of an online game. It ran for in August 2017 till where was this? Ended sometime in December 2018 is when they killed it. Well, except they, patched it, so some stuff would still work afterwards.
Huh.
Which is nice, but it was a mobile puzzle game.
Ah.
I don't have it, unfortunately, because I didn't know about it until after it was shut down. Oh, well. But yeah, there's that. And apparently on the Blu-ray I have, there's extras. I'm not sure if they're from the game or not, but they're like these, the picture diaries, they call them. So it's, just visual novel style type stuff. More extra stories. In there. I haven't watched all of them because I was like, oh crap, it's getting kind of late. I need to do something. I need to stop watching. That sort of thing. But yeah, it's fantastic, I think. So getting into this thing, it's a group of 5 characters are pretty much the principal cast.
I get it.
Yeah, you got Angie, the spy, from the Black Lizard Planet, as she likes to say.
Yes, Black Lizard Planet.
You got the princess, Princess Charlotte, princess of the Kingdom of Albion, which is alternate universe England.
Princess of Air.
Yeah.
As she is sometimes referred to.
You got Dorothy. She's basically the driver, and she's also the oldest of the group. Beatrice, who's Charlotte's friend, and also very skittish about this whole spy thing. Not surprising, because she's not really a spy. She's just a noble girl until this all went down. And you got
basically
Chise.
Assistant.
Yeah, then you got Chise, who's she's Japanese, and she's here because of Lord, what was his name, Hanakawa or something like that. I think I can't remember.
That. She's basically an assassin.
Yes, because she had a very specific mission, and now she's here to she's kind of here to spy on the spies to determine whether or not who the Lord should ally with, the Commonwealth of the Kingdom, because the Kingdom of Albion split into two 10 years ago because of a revolution. And now London, which, somebody in London's still the same, has a wall going through the middle of it. So they kind of, I guess, modeled it a little after Germany during the Cold War.
Yeah, that's something I was getting a lot of, was this really seems like Germany getting split into East and West.
And then you got Berlin split because Berlin's smack in the middle of East for Germany.
Yeah, that was a fun thing.
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly how they split it here because we don't really see a map. But yeah, there's the Commonwealth of Albion and the Kingdom of Albion. And it takes place about roughly 1910 because they don't give the exact date, but they said, at the turn of the century and then 10 years later. So it's like, okay, that's roughly that point in time. So pre-World War I.
Right.
Yeah. And there's also a whole thing. This is where the steampunk stuff comes in, which is there's a substance called cavorite, which basically lets things float more or less, and they use it to make airships and everything.
Airships.
So they have an air fleet and whatnot.
Which is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the whole cavorite thing it's an interesting point. I have a few comments on it in multiple different directions.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love the whole steampunk concept, the idea of the cavorite and what it enables. Airships are freaking amazing. I love airships, and they were amazing airships. I wish it was explored more.
Yeah.
They don't really explore it. They kind of bring it and then use it as a tool, but they don't really explore it or explain it very much. So it seems kind of like a missed opportunity to me there. It's like, especially in the very first episode with the girl that has cavorite poisoning.
Oh yeah,
never comes back.
Yeah,
never.
There's
comes
a lot
up
of the
again.
world. Cavorite is actually a reference to H.G. Wells' The First Man in the Moon.
Oh.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. But yeah, I personally think it's kind of, I like that they do this thing of like, here's some of the world. You don't get everything, but you get quite a bit of some context clues to give you an idea of what's going on, but not everything. So you kind of have to piece it together, parts of it together yourself. Largely some of it's like, that's not really important to these characters who are the central focus of things. This is still somewhat character driven.
Right. It's not like a detractor, like, oh, they needed to, and the whole show's it's bad because I just wish they,
because it's so cool.
More. And yeah, it kind of leads me back to what I said in the very, very beginning when you mentioned the movies, that they built a ton of lore and world that's at least available that they haven't talked about. They just kind of put it off onto the side. You can see that there's a lot going on that's not brought up, which, that's part of storytelling. But it makes me want to see it. I want to see more.
And the thing is, unlike a lot of the stuff we talk about on this show, this is not based on a manga. This is an original anime. I really genuinely like a lot of stuff. And one thing I think is interesting is the order of the episodes is not necessarily chronological.
Right. Actually, I kind of got frustrated a little bit on that and really confused when I first started watching these episodes. I watched episode 1 and I was like, okay. And then I jumped to episode 2. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, because what tips you off is the case
knew each other
numbers.
And now you don't know each other. And then I was like, oh, okay.
They do in media res.
I see what's going on.
Yeah, because
they jump back and forth through time as a
couple times.
Here's what's going on now, and now we're going to go into the past and show how these part of the group met, and then back to the future, and then back to seeing how the other part of the group met. It's like, okay, I see it, but it was a little bit jarring at first.
Yeah, because the first episode is Case 13. It's basically, just kind of showing the full group and everything, and then episode 2 is Case 1.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to pay attention to those. I think one of the reasons is that I didn't start noticing the case numbers until a couple episodes in. I didn't really notice how they weren't progressing quite linearly until I suddenly
Yeah.
realized, wait, time skips.
I'm trying to
Okay.
remember. I think the first time I watched it, I kind of noticed. I think just caught the case number at the second episode. Wait, what?
Yeah, I think I didn't catch.
I thought it was a
think I
typo
caught
the first time, and then okay.
Yeah, I think what happened for me is that I caught the case number on the second episode, but I didn't catch the case episode on the first.
Yeah.
So
they do
that got me confused.
Yeah, what they do is they do this later, which is they'll have a character that like a bit of dialogue or something, like there's something going on with one of the characters, and then we jump back, kind of, okay, this is what's going on with that character specifically. They did that with Chisei and I believe, what was it? I think Dorothy a little bit too. Maybe no.
They do,
but Chisei in particular.
Yeah.
Because it's like it goes 13, 1, 2, 9, 7, 18, 16, 20, 11, 22, 23, 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's also a lot of room in there to do more if they're gonna. I know it's like I was talking about the on the Blu-ray they had the picture diaries. Some of those, like I saw one of them was case 4.5, which there's no case 4 in the anime.
Interesting.
So there's stuff like so. I wonder what the movies are going to do. Like if some of them are going to go back into like in between on the anime, and how many of them are going to be post anime.
Yeah,
because
they do have a lot of room to do it.
Yeah, because apparently the first movie is called Princess Principal Crown Handler.
Interesting.
The only thing is they're not, the VA for Angie is not going to be in the movie because she's retired.
Aw.
Because due to poor health.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she retired shortly after doing this one. I think this is her second to last anime. Was Princess Principal. Last one was Takunomi. Yeah, so she's retired and she's been replaced by someone else for the.
Interesting.
Apparently, that was part of the delay. Was they had to delay to find a new VA because it was supposed to come out last year. I think.
Kind of tough to keep going when your VA is not there anymore.
VA of your main character.
Yeah. Because not only do you have to find a new VA, you have to find a VA that sounds adequate, that adequately matches.
Yeah, especially since we see Angie can do a lot of different voices herself.
A lot of different voices. That's key to her character.
Yeah, because she's a spy, or
she
claims to be a native from the Black Lizard planet, but
Yes, native. She's an alien, native to the Black Lizard planet.
Yeah, just one of her weird lies.
Yep.
Because the whole thing, the characters, we get this whole thing of I think they're all really interesting characters in general. We got Angie, who's just constantly lying, usually pretty deadpan, except around Charlotte. Charlotte, she actually smiles for real around. She actually,
princess,
happy. Charlotte is, we see she's always got this, kind of pleasant smile on her face, but every once in a while we start to see the cracks show, and we see why those cracks show. And,
oh boy, yeah.
Dorothy, we see Dorothy's very she's the oldest one of the group. She tends to be the mature one most of the time, but every once in a while she kind of, if she's baited into it, she will be immature for a little bit. Yeah. Especially if we bring up her age.
Yeah. She's also much more laid back than the rest of them.
Oh yeah. Beatrice
booze also helps.
Beatrice is like practically a nervous wreck at times.
Yep. This was not how she expected her life to go.
And yet, here it is.
And yet, here she is.
Chisei's actually personality-wise in many ways similar to Angie, except, well, a little more honest than Angie is.
A little bit more honest and straightforward.
Yeah, but also still just kind of quiet, reserved for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing, basically, and yeah, this is obviously the spoiler stuff if you haven't already caught on. This is kind of a what if for the prince and the pauper.
Yeah.
Except the princess and the pauper. Okay, they met each other, because that's the whole thing, is like Angie and Charlotte are actually the opposite of who they say they are. Angie's actually Charlotte, right. Charlotte's actually Angie.
Yeah, oh my god, that episode, holy crap.
The one where we got the backstory?
Episode 9.
Oh yeah.
It was episode 9 when we got the story of the princess and the pickpocket.
Was it 9?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was 9. It was either 9 or 10.
It was...
It was 8.
It was 8.
It was 8?
Uh-huh.
Did I forget what 9 was then?
Yeah, 9 was the one where Chisei has the duel.
Right. Okay, that's probably why I forgot. It was a good episode, but
Yeah.
as far as like super important story, wow. Yeah, episode 8 and then episode 10 were just holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learn in the backstory of Princess and the pickpocket.
Yep.
What happened?
Oh, look, we look so similar. And they
Yeah, and
switch
they
places
became
and
good
everything.
friends, and
Yeah.
they would switch back and forth to confuse the heck out of the handlers.
Yeah, and then they switched, and the princess went out into London, and Angie went into the castle. And then the revolution happened, and they got separated permanently.
Yeah, and they mistook Angie, however you want to pronounce
Angie, it's Angie.
Yeah, it's Angie, as the princess, and she had to follow through and stick to that disguise,
unless she had to be perfect.
Found out and possibly, yeah, she had to be perfect because any slip up would make them realize that she's not actually the princess, and they would kill her.
Yep. And meanwhile, Charlotte, now everyone's seeing her as Angie, is finding out, wow, London sucks.
Sucks. Although she kind of found that out right before the revolution started.
But now she has to
come back.
Yeah, but now so she becomes a spy, and she becomes a spy because that's the only way for her to return to Charlotte. Or, now Charlotte, because they pretty much switched names at this point because they live their lives as each other now.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, when that was revealed, like, I knew this show was dark from episode 1.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
There was darkness. So, like, are you going to kill me now? No. Bang.
Yeah, and just keep shooting because we gotta make it look like some just random thug just accosted the guy and robbed him and dumped his river or something.
It's like, this is not going to be a super cheery,
not all the time
thing, but
sometimes, yes.
And
but
when that part was revealed, like, we knew they were friends before that. They had history together. But then that episode, when it was finally revealed, just how things were, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, they revealed earlier that they knew each other in episode 2. They revealed that they knew each other before they should have.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And then I think there's a clue there because Angie and Charlotte revert to each other by the quote unquote wrong name.
I don't even think I caught that one. Yeah, because
there's another thing, which is the note Angie passed Charlotte said it was from Charlotte.
Oh.
There's little details, like I didn't probably catch them on the first viewing, but this is my second viewing of it. Yeah, I caught them this time for sure. So it's really cool. So it's really neat stuff like that. And then you got the utter just other devastation, emotional devastation of case, or I guess episode 10 and 11 sometimes, because like, oh, by the way, you have to assassinate her now.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. They're the spies. What they're supposed to do is it's Operation Chameleon. Is Angie looks like Charlotte? Huh? How about that? So the plan was to replace the princess with their spy, and pretty much destroy the kingdom of Albion from the inside out.
Yeah.
And then, hey, we're gonna recruit the princess because she's willing to.
Princess was willing to go along with things.
Yep. And then there's a whole shakeup within the Commonwealth, which that's only vaguely talked about at all. There's a whole government shakeup of some sort. And then the military took over. Like, no, we're banning that operation. We're just kill the princess. We can't trust her. Kill her.
Yep.
Which led to some crazy stuff in the last few episodes.
Yeah,
we'll get to that, I think.
Angie had to deal with that.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later because I want to get back to the characters themselves.
Right.
Dorothy, I think, kind of wound up being in many ways my favorite character, particularly because of her episode, namely episode 6, the Rouge Morgue.
Yes, we found out about her dad.
Yeah, that's what the episode, because Dorothy, again, she's 20 years old. She's the only adult of the group, even if it's barely an adult.
Although she fakes her age.
Yeah, she's pretending to be a final year, a senior at this school that they're going to. And of course, like Angie, for example, loves to kind of poke that a little bit.
Yep.
It's like, everyone's just being kind to you type stuff. Yeah. Dorothy, we said earlier, she's laid back for about a lot of things, but at the same time, we also see she's kind of can be serious. And sometimes she's the one who has to kind of almost Rain and Angie sometimes, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
But the other thing we see is like she drinks a lot, but
She drinks a lot.
But at the same time, she seems to have a pretty strong liver, I guess, because it doesn't affect her that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely got a tolerance to it.
And she's also a driver, quite the driver as well. We see that because she drives their vehicle.
Yeah, those vehicles. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's steam powered, by the way, not internal combustion engine.
Yep, steampunk all the way.
Yeah, all the way. It's steam powered. But yeah, we also find out in that episode in particular, which we find out that she is estranged from her dad, and there's her dad in the morgue, working in a morgue, and he's an angry drunk.
Yep.
And we find out her name's not Dorothy; it's Daisy.
Dorothy's the name of her mom.
Yeah, who ran away, didn't take her daughter with her, which is kind of messed up.
Wow.
It makes you. It's like you have to realize Dorothy's parents. Neither of her parents were actually particularly good. Or at least they weren't after a certain point.
Yeah.
She talks about. We see. I think that's one of the more interesting episodes. It really illustrates just how gray this particular world is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also it also shows kind of a lot of the stuff shows they did a lot of research into early 20th century England, like what is it like in London, even though it's an alternate universe, it's still actually being fairly authentic in many ways. I was actually looking up some of this stuff, so in many ways they're being authentic about some of this. And but we find out her dad used to be like an engineer or something, and then he lost his arm in an accident, and ever since then he's been drinking and stuff, and he got really abusive, and her mom walked out, didn't take her with her, and didn't take, I guess, Daisy with her, and she's stuck with her dad, who beats the crap out of her all the time, and then it does the, oh, I'm so sorry, can't believe it, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of an emotional abuse on top of the physical abuse.
Yep.
Although we also see that probably wasn't intentional. Although here's the thing. This is a detail that's not in the anime, at least I don't remember being there, which is apparently his alcohol, it was cheap garbage and was made with lead distillery.
Oof.
Which is affected his behavior more than it would have otherwise.
Yeah, because lead poisoning.
Yeah. So it's like, that's not in the anime. It was in the little book I have with the Blu-ray. It's like, oh, at least I don't think it was. I don't remember catching it. But so it's like, that's an important detail.
Can be.
Because it kind of, that makes things a little more, gives you a little more context. But yeah, it doesn't really excuse his behavior. But yeah, so eventually, we see Dorothy ran away. And of course, the same day she ran away, that's when the revolution happened.
Yeah, everything happens on the day of the revolution.
Yeah, it was a big day.
It was a big day. Yes.
So yeah, so she hasn't seen her father in years. And then she goes to the undercover assignment. And oh, hey, turns out her dad is the one who's doing this thing for this other set of spies for the kingdom, because they're working for the Commonwealth. Yeah, so and he's doing this because he's being promised money because he's super in debt to a loan shark.
Yeah, who pops up a few times.
Yeah, it's like I believe this is the second time second time he pops up as in Rouge Morgue. Mm-hmm. So she meets him again, and at first it's like she's very much still angry at him, not surprising, and
surprising.
And she kind of somewhat warms back up to him because it's like we see that he genuinely cares about her. Even if he screwed up a lot, it's like, this is one of those things where it's really complicated because like we can see he genuinely regrets what he did, but he still did some pretty horrible things to her.
And still continues to try and do horrible things to others and stuff like that.
We see what we're seeing is a broken man who's lost everything. And all he has left is alcohol, basically.
Yep.
And he finally sees a way out, and you see that he's talking about how he's going to buy his daughter some amazing clothes, and we're going to go out and have fun and blah blah blah, and then he gets killed because they weren't ever going to give him money.
They were never going to give him money anyway.
Yeah, because he was holding.
Yeah, I saw that one coming a mile away too.
Yeah, you should see that. It was like, yeah, but it's still kind of sad. It's like,
it is. It's like I could see it. It's like, oh, there it is.
Especially the thing about he used to be a good person. He was a good father until the accident. After the accident, once that happened, he just spiraled and became a horrible person. But we see that Dorothy kind of is willing to give him a second chance. but
Yep.
never gets that because he gets killed, and she has no idea.
She has no idea.
In fact, apparently we see that also because the loan shark sees the daughter, and that she's his daughter, and is like, oh, we'll forgive the debt if you let us have her.
Yep. And then it was played up as like, oh, he went along with it, but then it was revealed later, no, he didn't.
After Dorothy beats the crap out of them.
It's
like, you know what? I'm mad. You're in my way. You're here. I'm mad. That's it.
Also, the loan shark's a dick.
Yeah, he's a horrible person.
He deserved it anyway.
Turns out he was pleading with them, don't take my daughter, not anyone but my daughter. Even as they beat the crap out of him, that he's just not my daughter, not her. So it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's man.
Yep. Things are always more complicated than we would like them to be.
And then we also got the bit later with the Prefect and Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
The double agent.
Yeah, that was 10, wasn't it?
I think, that was 10.
That was Agent 10. That's another one that's like, holy crap. That ending.
Yep.
How that all ended. I did not see that coming at all.
Yep. Yeah, you just assume Prefect looked up to Angie, right? No.
And that's what they intend you to see.
Because she was always second best to Angie.
Yeah, and the three of them were in class together.
Yep.
All went through training together, and then it's like, okay, well, now you two gotta check this out, and gotta work with them, but also we think she may also be working for the other side, so double check that.
Yeah.
And then the fight, and then the running and the fight, and then the reveal. No, it wasn't Angie he looked up to, it was Dorothy.
Yep.
And then she pulls the gun.
Yeah, and it's like, uh-oh. And then, yeah.
I'll save you the trouble of shooting me, and I'll do it myself.
Yeah, it's like, dang.
I did not see that part coming at all.
Yep. Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole thing in of itself, because Prefect there became a double agent because she was struggling to keep up with Angie, and eventually she turned to drugs, and somehow the kingdom used that as leverage to get her to be a double agent. That's the implication anyway. So
yeah, because they don't really talk about the drugs that she was on at all.
They show she's clearly shooting up something.
Yeah, she's clearly using something, but they don't explain it.
Yeah, other than she's become an addict, and that was used as leverage. However we used the leverage, it was used. Yeah, so, and that's the thing about this. Yeah, again, this show it doesn't shy away from the darker things. Like we see for example, the laundry mill episode. There are children working at that laundry mill.
Yep.
These are little kids, and they're working at this laundry mill, and they're all like injured and whatnot because of shoddy equipment and bad non-existent safety standards.
Yeah.
And it's just, they don't shy away from this. They don't really bring it up at all that they're kids. That's just part of what London was like in the early 20th century.
Yep.
And
that's
the other thing
how
was
things worked.
Also, when we find out about the past of Angie and Charlotte, Charlotte gets out into the real world and just sees just how bad it is. She sees the sick, depressed faces of all these people. Like, oh wow, I've been living in an ivory tower, haven't I?
Yes, you've been living a life of luxury while everyone else is suffering.
That's bad, isn't it?
That's bad. And then of course she gets grabbed by one guy.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's one thing I really like about this. It doesn't shy away from the darker side of the stuff. It shows the inequality. It shows the revolution happened because of the inequality and whatnot. We don't really see what the Commonwealth is like per se. We're seeing pretty much entirely the kingdom, but it's definitely whatever happened. It's definitely not a monarchy anymore. When almost not surprised me based off the imagery they showed for the revolution. I saw flags with sickles on them. It's like Makes me wonder if the Commonwealth there is a bit of a socialist state.
Yeah, I wonder, because if it's a workers' revolution, that's usually
where it goes.
One of the things, yeah.
So who knows on that part? But Beatrice, I guess moving back again to the characters. Beatrice, to the characters. Or as they all say Beato, because all of them have a really difficult time saying Beatrice because of the nature of that name.
Yep.
It's like us and most of the Japanese names.
Yep.
Uh-oh. How do I say that? I don't remember how they said it.
Yep.
Yeah, Beatrice is interesting because, again, she was like best friend of the princess right now, whatnot. And then we find out she has this weird metal thing on her neck. And turns out it's because her dad has decided to go ahead and experiment on her.
What is with these characters and having really horrible fathers?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but it's so she has a mechanical voice box basically, and sometimes it malfunctions as we see, and it kind of has a it kind of makes robotic noise. But she can also, when this is very handy for spy work, mimic other people's voices.
Yes,
very handy. That
quite handy. That's why they keep you around.
Yeah, part of it. Initially, she's like, I'm not going to help out any spies because she does not trust them at all because they're spies and they're here to kill the princess. How dare you?
Now she is one of them.
Yeah, she became one of them partially because the princess is like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
The princess is going to join them. Well, then I have to follow you.
Yeah, even though she objected to it for a while too.
Yep.
Yeah, she's kind of an interesting character because of that. She's the one who's kind of out of her element, but she still has kind of found a way to fit in despite that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just, she's not very much a fighter, but she, again, still very handy. Just, we see some stuff like that. Even in that that was the second episode, I guess, or actually I believe this was third by this point. Yeah. Third episode, second case. She's kind of unwillingly going along with this thing with Angie on the airship, and eventually she has to make a decision of helping Angie despite the fact she doesn't like her.
Yep. She accidentally got stuck with her.
Yep. Whoopsie doodles.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's the time that Angie learns of Beatrice's ability, if I remember correctly.
Yep. I also like, at least on the Blu-ray version, the subtitles get all weird too when she's got the robotic voice.
Interesting.
I don't think it did it on the high dive version though.
I don't recall it doing on high dive.
Yeah, the subtitles got all weird and warbly.
The match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beatrice is definitely an interesting character.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Chise. Yes. She's Japanese.
She's
she's also got a crappy dad, it turns out.
Yep. like I said.
Her dad is a traitor who became an assassin, and she set out to kill him. And man, that episode where we see, her introduction episode, even though she had already been there. Yeah, that thing.
A lot, yeah, that whole time weirdness.
Yeah, the Bullet and Blades ballad. Case 7. Lord Horikawa. Yeah, she's there with Lord Horikawa, and she's like, at first they think she's the assassin because she just jumps on top of the train like a weirdo. It's like, oh, that must be the assassin. Nope, she's here to kill the assassin because, he's a traitor and all this stuff. Then, oh, hey, the twist of the assassin's her dad.
Yep.
And she defeats him.
That ending on the hillside was pretty heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Why doesn't your spell work anymore?
Yeah, the whole thing, the pain, fly away thing. Yep. She did to a little kid who scraped his knee earlier, and then later she's trying to do it when she's, at his grave, I guess. It looks like a grave because you got a rock there and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Why isn't it working?
Why isn't it working? It's for the pain in my heart.
Yeah. It's sad. It's really sad.
Like I said, it was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, this doesn't shy away from that stuff.
No, it doesn't.
Hell yeah, sure, it has happy, goofy nonsense sometimes, like Beatrice accidentally driving, like, don't just give me the wheel, and then driving the car into a snowbank.
Yep, that was one. Angie just left her in the car.
Yeah. So what we have here is a weird thing of a fish out of water, a Japanese person in Britain, or I guess Albion, but this is written by Japanese people.
I was going to bring that one up. So you get
this weird thing where it's like, you you got a bunch of characters saying Japanese people are weird.
Yep. That was something when they were doing that. It was like, this is ironic.
Yeah, and its implication is they are speaking English. There's some dialogue to suggest they are speaking English for most of this time, but they're speaking Japanese because yeah. And you got and of course you see misunderstanding things like showing a white turnip at someone's face to challenge to a duel.
Yep,
it's a glove, a glove,
and it doesn't just work like that.
Yeah. And so that particular episode was now the Pell Mell duel. That was all like Chissy's point of view. Again, that was a weird one because you also got some period accurate racism.
Hey.
Yeah, against Japanese people, but yeah, so it's like that weird thing. Like, yeah, okay,
yeah, okay,
okay, because you used the term Oriental, which I don't do that.
That was one.
That was a common thing. It was just basically, the good old Europeans and I guess Americans at the time. They're all the same, right? No.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because there was the jerk wad who, kicked the butterfly.
Yeah.
Chissy was just looking at a butterfly. He just came out of his with chrysalis and everything, and then he's like, get out of the way. And I'm looking at the butterfly. Then he kicks the butterfly. Now you can get out of the way. Wow.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, as he's supposed to be. And he was racist and sexist all at once.
Yeah, just go for a double whammy.
Yeah. Also, Chissy is a little jealous of Dorothy's attributes, shall we say.
Yes.
Which, actually, I'll say that this anime is pretty light on the fan servicey nonsense. And even then, it's barely fan service because it's kind of, contextually, it makes sense. And it's
Dorothy,
very light on it.
Yeah, Dorothy does the whole, pulling the dress down a bit to
enhance her cleavage.
Enhance the cleavage, but she does it for specific purpose.
She's doing spy work.
Yeah, so she does it for distractions and stuff like that.
And she does it pretty much three times throughout the anime, and just one time Chissy just kind of is like commenting on it. It's like, I have not grown those yet.
Not grown those yet. Yep.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty light on that. That's another good point. It's like it's practically non-existent. And what little exists, for one, she's an adult character, so there's that. So it's not the creepy angle.
Yep, it's not.
And two,
that's a child.
There is, even though it doesn't necessarily justify it, it is an excuse in universe excuse other than we just want to see some titty. Because that's usually what it winds up is we just want to see some titty.
Some really thin, threadbare reason to show it off, as they usually do.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you could have easily gone without that, but this makes sense.
Yeah. So like I said, there's the laundry mill was a pretty pretty neat episode because they introduced safety standards into that place.
Yeah.
Because they have to keep the mission going. So Princess buys the mill, makes it profitable, just so they can keep it going. So they keep doing the mission of find the guy who's using nerve gas.
Yep.
Because that was the other thing was I saw the Geneva Convention stuff. I was like, wait, hold on, was that? Yeah, that was a thing at that time because I thought wasn't that in the 40s? It was, but it was also before that. The Geneva Convention goes back to 1860s.
Interesting.
Yeah, just the one we know of today was the one that was in the 1940s.
Yeah.
But at that point, apparently, nerve gas stuff like that was not supposed to be a thing. But I think World War I, that rule got kind of ignored a lot.
Yeah, as rules tend to get.
The rule's inconvenient. Let's ignore that because we need to win the war.
Yep, the war to end all wars.
And then, it didn't end at all.
Yeah. They didn't call it World War I when it was happening.
It was the Great War.
It was the Great War.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of characters, side characters. I can't remember her name. The one that was in the laundry girl who...
Oh, yeah. Basically the head, but not head.
Yeah.
The lead laundry person.
Mm-hmm. She was...
I forgot her name, too.
Yeah, but she was like, because Chissy's like, I'm just going to keep working. I don't care. I'm not lazy, I'm going to keep working. It's like, the reason we take so many breaks is to keep them safe because all his equipment's crap and it's dangerous.
Yeah, if you work too long, we have to take breaks like every hour because if we could go over an hour, it overloads the machines and hurts someone.
Yep.
That was a point for Chise.
Marilla. Her name was Marilla.
Yeah. Marilla.
Yeah, because we even see like she's got scars and stuff on her arms. I was like, oh, she knows firsthand how bad this stuff is.
Yep.
And there's also Lily Galveston, who's apparently was their classmate to spy on the princess as well. From the Duke of Normandy, who's pretty much kind of one of the big bads.
Yeah, it's like the big bad, really.
The Duke of Normandy, who's trying to do something.
Something, not entirely certain.
But anyway, he seems to be the guy in charge of the kingdom spies.
Yep.
Yeah, and his little, I guess, Lieutenant Gazelle. Yeah, so yeah, he pops up here and there, but yeah, he's like actually Charlotte's uncle. I was like, oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole thing. And then you finally get to the end bit where it's like, the whole mission of replace Charlotte with Angie, who's been now changed to, or now I guess was changed to, well, get Charlotte on our side to now kill Charlotte and whatnot.
Yeah, because the final plan after the whole big shakeup and the military took over the spy operations, they said, okay, Operation Changeling is, well, changing. You are now to kill the princess, replace the princess, and we're going to kill the queen.
Mm-hmm. And they were playing a bunch of unhappy kingdom soldiers into doing this. They're like, we're going to kill the queen and replace her with Charlotte, with no intention of that. Well, they're pretty much very certain this new revolution is going to fail as well.
The soldiers didn't, but
nope.
the heads of the operation
like Zelda
did.
there.
Yes, Zelda.
Who was there to make sure Angie did her job, because Angie said, I'll kill Charlotte.
Yep.
And she's there to make sure she actually did her job, and she was a big pain in the butt, and she got away in the end, which...
yeah, she got away.
That's frustrating.
And she had another sea ball.
Yeah, because the sea ball was, we didn't mention that at all, really.
The sea ball. We mentioned Cavorite.
The sea ball is basically, it's a little metal ball filled with Cavorite, which Angie has, which she activates it and lets her float. The thing is, if you have it on too long or use it too frequently, it overheats and fails.
Yep.
And yeah, so they have basically a little thermos to cool it down. I mean, they really need it.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
Use it more.
Angie used it quite a few times throughout the series, and it turns out there's one case even they had to stop the kingdom from developing their own because they had, and they had to stop it because they can if they figured out how to make one, they can make a better one. We know this, so we need to stop it now.
Yeah, because it was like the kingdom had better miniaturization capabilities.
Yeah,
but they didn't have Cavorite production capabilities.
Something like that.
Cavorite production capabilities, something like that. So, yeah. And then we see Zelda with one. It was kind of funny. When I first saw the sea balls in use, I got some pretty strong Gravity Rush vibes. Like, this looks familiar.
No, shut up. Gravity Rush is also good, by the way.
I still need to finish 2.
Yes, you do. The other thing was, their team. They got a team name of Team White Pigeon.
After all the other failed attempts of names.
Yes. Yeah, that whole end bit where, they're trying to do that thing, and then they pull a swap and then another swap, and because you got Charlotte and Angie trying to run away, because Angie's like, oh, by the way, I've been told to kill you. We got to get away from here. And so they get run away. And then Charlie gets mad because I don't want to run away to Casablanca. I want to be queen to fix my country.
Yep.
And so she locks Angie in a room on the airship and gets away, and then she pretends to be Angie pretending to be Charlotte. So that
which is interesting because then she was essentially pretending to be herself.
Yeah.
While pretending to be someone that she wasn't, but that she's been pretending to be for her entire life. It gets weird.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, and so you got that, and you almost tricked Zelda initially, and then she's trying to do the whole thing, and they're gonna we're gonna basically put you at the center of the assassination plot of the queen, so that you get throw the whole country into chaos and whatnot, and then all of them get save the day and whatnot.
Well, and then it's like chances are this revolution is going to fail anyway, but the chaos that will ensue and the fact that it happened will cause another revolution to happen that won't fail.
Yeah.
And that was the full plan.
Yeah, and
but
then
Zelda figures out that Charlotte isn't Angie, although not realizing that
she is Angie.
It is actually Charlotte. It is actually
Yeah.
I fooled you, but you don't realize that I've fooled you this whole time.
Although then we got she's sitting there actually pretty much revealing everything when she's tied up, and Zelda shoots her in the leg, and the soldier's like, "Whoa, hey, hold up."
That wasn't part of the plan.
And then he gets shot.
Princess. Because Zelda realized that the princess was not Angie.
Yeah.
But Zelda didn't tell the soldiers, so the soldiers still thought she was the normal princess that they've always had.
Yep. I mean, they actually have had her as their own.
Yeah, we're ignoring the initial.
Yeah.
Swap it, chilled. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
So there was that whole tension point between Zelda and the guards due to differing information.
Anyway, the white pigeons were able to foil the whole assassination of the queen attempt and mess it all up. Zelda runs away. They escape, and they all go to Casablanca, where they're kind of just vacationing for a while until they brought a new assignment because there was another shakeup, and now the Commonwealth is back under. No, the spies are no longer going to control the military.
Even though they were in Casablanca, but they were actually tailing someone too.
Yeah, so that's like, yeah, they were vacationing, but then they're back on assignment.
Yeah.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Nope.
All that stuff. So, yeah, there's all that. But, of course, there's also the super obvious gay undertones between Angie and Charlotte.
Oh, my God. They're so...
Like, we see Angie, subtle. Like, it practically becomes a different person around Charlotte.
Yep.
Like, she's her real self. She smiles. She's, she talks about, all the
Genuine
stuff she learned.
Smiles.
Yeah. Like, she's, talking about all the stuff she learned from the real, all the things they learned from each other when they're kids, all the stuff to talk about. That's what the initial plan was. Angie was, okay, I found you. Let's run away together. And Charlotte's like, no, we got to fix the kingdom.
I'm going to do what you wanted.
I will be queen. Yeah, because that was
one of the
original Charlotte's.
The original Charlotte. Princess, the real
Charlotte
princess, Charlotte wanted to, after she went out to the real world and saw how bad it was, I'm going to become queen
and fix
to do this. But then they ended up getting swapped accidentally. So Angie became Charlotte and stuck with it to do what the real Charlotte was planning on.
Yes.
And then the real Charlotte came back, said, no, we're going to run away, and said, no, I'm going to do this for you. Which is... Yeah. There was one interesting point when, they got into the big argument on the airship.
Yeah.
When Charlotte...
Yeah. Which Charlotte?
The
long hair or short hair Charlotte?
Long hair.
Okay.
Long hair Charlotte, so... Original, Angie as a child.
Yeah.
It tells, stop trying to live my life or something like that.
Stop trying to control my life.
Something to that effect. And my first thought was, hasn't that technically been what you've been doing to hers the entire time?
Yeah.
Living her life as a princess?
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been living the other lives for so long, they have basically officially swapped. Because throughout the entire anime, the princess is called Angie.
Mm-hmm.
Even though her real name is Charlotte.
Although there was a couple times they did change.
There was a couple times they did swap, and Angie always called her princess.
Yeah.
That was a key point that came up. Why do
you have become the princess?
Yeah.
You have become a real princess. You worked super hard, your butt off and became the actual princess.
Yep.
But yeah, that was that whole thing where it's like, they were, Charlotte tells Angie there that I've always hated that about you. And then
you gotta clean up your mess.
Yeah, and then Angie figures out later, wait, that was a bunch of crap. And then she goes off and gets her. And
then almost foils the rest of her plan.
Yeah, it's like Dorothy's mad, just like, you ruined it. And then Beatrice comes out, actually, well, turns out they're just waiting for her to show up. It's like, oh. Also, Chisia thought she was going to be leaving too, and then she pleads, I need to do something, and she goes and helps, and yeah, it's a pretty crazy time. Angie and Charlotte kind of have a thing going, which also kind of brings up a question, because the whole thing is they're supposed to look like almost identical to each other, so is this kind of a weird pseudo-narcissistic thing? I don't know.
Sure.
Because the whole idea is they could pretty much swap places and no one would know.
That's literally what happened, is they swapped places and no one knew.
So it's like, but they clearly have, there's stuff like we have Charlotte, current Charlotte, actually calls Angie her turtle dove. It's like,
yeah,
that's pretty gay, yo.
That's pretty gay.
This is 1910. But then again, she's royalty. Are you going to defy the queen? That's how you get revolutions.
That's how you get...
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole thing there. And of course that's a popular ship, and there's not a whole lot of fan works of this. Well, not written anyway. There's quite a bit of artwork. Of course, it's all Angie and Charlotte.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Although weirdly enough, I've seen a lot of Dorothy and Beatrice, particularly because that one episode, the Dorothy's father episode.
Yeah.
So because the interaction between those two people like to ship Dorothy and Beatrice together. However, the problem is Dorothy's 20 and Beatrice is 15.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a problem.
A little bit of a problem, yeah. Yeah, I've seen people ship Chissay and Beatrice together, which they're 15, 16. That's fine. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think personality-wise.
Yeah, that's fine. Beatrice and Charlotte, because, well...
yeah.
I've seen one-sided angst of that, because the good old... she's totally head over heels, and then...
Beatrice is totally head over heels for the princess, but the princess and Angie are a thing, so can't...
Yeah, so basically Angie shows up, and Beatrice realized very quickly, I had zero chance with her whatsoever.
Yep.
Good enough. I've seen Chissay and Marilla.
Marilla? Yeah, after that one.
Yeah, the laundry episode. And Chissay and Lily, the one, the one she insulted in the bathroom that one time.
Oh.
You should, that was great because like Lily there is all like, you should pick your friends better. Aren't we friends? Are you saying we shouldn't be friends?
That was a great scene. It was an amazing,
subtlest of burns.
Yep.
It's like you don't realize you're burned for a couple of seconds, then the pain comes.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I've seen those two shipped together. Well,
what about Chissay and Angie?
A couple. I think I've seen that a little bit, but not very often. I've seen Angie and Dorothy a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so shipping is a thing, obviously. Especially when you have the two main characters like that just blatantly it's kind of just blatant about those two.
Especially the very, very ending scene when they,
holding hands.
That happens all the time, though. They reach out and hold hands.
But yeah,
especially that on the beach.
Yeah, holding hands on the beach, and we get that up close shot of the hands being held together, and it's like
all it needed to do is just go pixelated.
Yep, that's lewd. Girls can't love girls. But yeah, other thing I want to mention definitely is the art style is fantastic. It's very much in the steam. It leans hard on steampunk and does a very good job of it.
It is amazing. It really is.
I know. There's now this weird attitude on the internet of steampunk is for 13-year-olds. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, steampunk can be for anyone.
Yeah, but this is weird attitude now.
You're just mad because the style is, styles come and go, but yeah.
Yeah, this is weird attitude. This is one of those things. It's like, so cringe. That sort of nonsense. Yeah. But the other awesome thing is the soundtrack is.
I was about to say, when are you going to mention
amazing. The OP is a banger.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's mostly in English too.
It is entirely in English.
Yeah. So it's been interesting having you get English in anime fairly often. It's not uncommon at all.
Including this one.
To have, well, it makes sense because it all takes place in, England, quote unquote. Albion.
Yeah. Isn't that also the name of the place in Fable?
You know what? I think it is.
I think, yeah.
I think it is. But yeah, you have this anime, and the OP is entirely in English.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit interesting.
Now, some of the words are a little, you get that little weird grammar things, but it's actually not too bad. All things considered, it actually mostly does make sense. It's not too much worse than some actual songs written by actually native English speaking people. Sometimes you get that. It's like, they're a native English speaker, but they made some weird lyrics.
Yeah.
Just to make it work for the music. So it's actually not too far off from that, actually.
And Albion is the place in Fable.
I thought so.
It is.
But yeah, also the visuals for the OP are also really great too.
Yeah.
That's a whole. That's that whole thing there.
It's just awesome.
Also, I like the ED as well. The end stuff.
Yes.
Although the song sounds good, but I still like it.
The ending song, it's a bit interesting because it's really cheery.
Yeah.
So you get one of these episodes that ends on a really dark note, and then the cheery ending song
with the nice little cutout paper chibi versions of the paper cutout chibi versions of the characters.
Yep. It's a very interesting juxtaposition.
It's like, yeah, we're going to go off and have a fun old time. About that.
Bam!
About that.
Your friend shoots himself right in the head and kills him in front of you. Yay! Happy cheery time now. Oh, although there was a little bit more time between them.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is fantastic. And if you haven't seen it yet, this is probably the perfect time to jump in and watch it because the movies are coming. The first movie's coming. It should be coming within actually a couple days of this episode coming out. I'm not sure if that's still going to be the case. They might have delayed it because, well, things are a little sketchy right now.
Things are not normal.
Yeah. And there's going to be 5 more movies. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with those and whatnot, but I'm looking forward to them. I want to see them as soon as possible, personally. So hopefully they'll be on somewhere I can get it with English translations soonish.
That is a lot of movies, though.
Yeah, 6 movies. Which,
that's a lot of movies.
Depending on, I'm not sure how long they are, but probably somewhere in that neighborhood of an hour and a half long, which would be about 4 episodes each. So 2 more seasons worth of show, I guess.
24.
Depending. Depends. They might be 2 hours long, 1.5 hours long. I don't know. Technically, a movie all it has to do is 60. If you're 60 minutes long, you're technically feature film length.
Yeah.
Who knows? Any which way, it's fantastic.
Someone knows.
Yeah, someone knows. They know. I don't. Anyway, it's a fantastic anime. I highly recommend watching it.
It is.
Yeah, it's just great, and I love there's so much about it. The only problem is I don't think there's really not a whole lot of merchandise for it. I looked.
Aww.
I was wondering because I know Bandai has it in hand, and so I was thinking, oh, maybe there's fig arts. Nope. The only thing I found was a Angie statue, which at this point is long sold out. So everyone else is, everyone's selling it marked up for $200+.
Yay!
I'm like, no, thank you. Not for that price.
I'm not going to spend that much.
Nope. You can buy the soundtrack though. Soundtrack CDs. There's 2 of them.
Yay.
There's one is just the OP and ED. The other one is the actual music for the rest of the whole series. So you got that.
Yeah.
That's it, I think, for this one. Not much else to say. That doesn't make us go way over time.
Yeah. You said Dorothy was probably your favorite?
Yeah, probably in the end.
That is a tough one because they all have such great.
Oh, they are all great. They're great. I don't think there's any of them are really weak at all.
Oh yeah, but they all have something about them that really intrigues me and interests me. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard for me to pick a favorite.
I mean, I also really like Angie as well. So that's that.
Yeah, Angie. Yeah. That's a tough decision. Probably something between Angie or Chise. One of the two.
Yeah, those 2 are pretty similar, so I'm not surprised on that one. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And if you did enjoy, you can listen to past and future episodes on newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn. If you want to check that out, they'll all be there. If you want to subscribe there and keep up to date. You could also subscribe via other methods. They're all listed at the top there via those buttons you might see if you go to that website. You can go to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or YouTube and search for New to Weeaboo on any of those and find us. Google Play in particular, you have to go to play.google.com/music or else it doesn't find it because of some reason or another.
Google's weird.
Yep, Google's weird. Yeah, so if you want to, check us out, that's the way you do it. Of course, you could also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com if you want to, did you like Princess Principal? Do you think we're overselling it for some reason? Which, okay, you're wrong, but sure.
You're wrong, but we'd like to hear your argument on that one.
Did you like what we're doing? Maybe you have criticism for us in particular. Do you have a recommendation for anime we should watch in the future? We are keeping a list of things we want to watch, and we might add it if we're intrigued enough. Certain things we won't touch, but hey, you never know.
Etchy.
Yeah, exactly. We won't do that again. We did High School of the Dead. We're not probably going to do that again.
That's probably the closest we're going to get.
That is technically, it wasn't etchy, but
yeah.
If you want to contact us via that way. You can also follow us on Twitter @NewToWeeaboo. You can see new episodes will be posted there as they show up, and we'll sometimes just post random other things regarding anime, sometimes just random opinions or just updates on the show, retweets possibly of me just, hey, look, I got a new anime thing. Because he's usually going to get anime stuff. Except for that scarf.
Every now and then I do, but not a huge amount.
Yeah, not a huge amount. Yet.
I've stopped getting a lot of things in general because I'm running out of room.
Oh no, that's bad.
Yeah.
But but you also follow our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz77T and an underscore at the end. If you want to follow those and see other things. I mostly tweet about Transformers stuff for the most part. Occasionally just random other things.
Other things.
Yes, gripes or whatever. Or retweeting fanfiction.net because something.
I retweet pictures and that's about it.
Oh yeah, of course I've been playing Half-Life Alyx. That's a fantastic game.
I don't have VR.
No, but I do. And I've been playing Half-Life Alyx and it's a fantastic game. Join us in a couple weeks. We'll be talking about Sailor Moon Supers.
Supers.
Yes, because that's what it's called.
Super S.
No, just Supers. It's, if you say Super S, you're saying it wrong.
Super S.
Supers. So yeah, we'll talk about that because we're coming up to the end of Sailor Moon pretty soon. We're almost there.
Almost there.
So anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll enjoy the next one, and we'll see you next time. So bye.
See ya.